So today's lesson is on the transactional model. The transactional model in communication is a core theory of communications. So let me show you how it works. Transactional means that something is going in between. So here's one person, and we're going to draw our other person. So first, this person can be identified as the sender, right? So the sender is going to send a message to who we will call the receiver. Now, once the sender sends the message to the receiver has to do something with that message. They have to decode. So the receiver decodes the message. Which means that the sender had to encode the message. So once the receiver receives the message and decodes it, they then encode a new message and send it back to the receiver. So in fact, our receiver decoder can become a sender encoder. That's important. And thus making the sender encoder a receiver decoder. Now, what they're sending are messages. Some messages, we'll just say right here, this encoder is speaking. And this initial receiver is listening. However, the receiver can send information back even non-verbally. So let's say this receiver is listening and doesn't quite understand what the sender is saying. Once the receiver decodes the message and says they're confused, it will show in their face. And so the message that is being received is a nonverbal communicative message. So we want to put right here, message. Now sometimes, especially in public speaking, we can be interrupted. We can be interrupted by someone coughing. We could be interrupted by a person who doesn't understand what you're saying. Anything that creates a distraction is called noise. You can hear noise outside the classroom, or somebody could sneeze, right? Just say sneeze, and that can be noise. Also, if the room is too hot, if it's too cold, if the speaker, the sender, is wearing something really loud and obnoxious or just not that awesome, all of those things are a noise, and noise can interfere with the messages that we're sending, receiving, decoding, and encoding. Also, you want to think about messages as transferable through channels. So one channel for the public speaker is the voice, right? So his channel is audio. And the receiver's channel is also audio, but it's not the spoken word, it's the hearing, right? So they are hearing the message. And we know with spoken word that it is meant to be heard. If the receiver is non-hearing, then the message they receive will be decoded by another person. So if you have a deaf member in the audience, then the deaf member will have an assistant who is decoding the message for that receiver or the non-hearing receivers. That's your basic transactional model.